After 19 seasons, 6 championships, and 3 MVPs, why did the Tom Brady era in New England come to an end? Was it just age? Complicated financials? Maybe. But Brady's relationship with the Patriots had a lot of bumps. If you go back, the move isn't really all that shocking. He was playing for Bill. Bill I won't commit to one quarterback Belichick. It wasn't Tom Brady who first wanted Tom Brady out of New England. It was Belichick. But perhaps the most abnormal reason for the spiral was a fake doctor who gave Brady reason to riff from the Patriots. Back in 2008, an ACL tear ended Tom Brady's season. A year later, Brady was back, and he credits who was now one of his best friends, Alex Guerrero. Alex Guerrero is one of the most zany characters in the NFL community, which is saying something considering the personalities we see in the league. In 2005, Dr. Guerrero was convinced he had the cure for cancer. He even went on TV advertising his magical pills. But Dr. Guerrero actually wasn't a doctor at all. He had a degree in medicine from a college that was later shut down. After this, he was banned by the FTC from ever calling himself doctor. Obviously, his magical pills were a swindle. 10 years later, Guerrero did it again. This time, he advertised a drink that could cure concussions. He may seem like a con artist, but he's actually played a part in Tom Brady's longevity. So you'd think the Patriots would be ready to build Guerrero a statue outside of Gillette. But with his questionable methods, Brady's friend and personal trainer was far from a hero. This is a ClutchPoints original documentary on the man who played a part in Brady's downward spiraling relationship with the Pats, and why the Hall of Fame quarterback swears by the miracle-working doctor. When Tom Brady tore his ACL in 2008, it was supposed to be devastating. His season was certainly over. The usual recovery time is up to a year, but Tom Brady is not like most players. Brady was out playing golf just 4 months after the injury. He started every game in the 2009 season. He was later named the Comeback Player of the Year. "I've never seen anything quite like it," Brady surgeon said. "With an average person, it would have probably taken twice as long to get the range of motion and strength back." Brady credited Alex Guerrero for the strangely fast recovery. From there, Guerrero was Brady's personal trainer, body coach, and best friend. Together, they created the TB12 method, a healthy way of living that sustained Brady's career into his 40s. For the most part, the Patriots organization, and especially Coach Bill Belichick, didn't mind Guerrero at first. Guerrero had helped Brady immensely and kept their star QB on the field. But the drama started to ramp up in 2017. Guerrero was around Brady constantly, and his beliefs reached not only Brady, but the rest of the players as well. Guerrero preached the idea of muscle pliability, that soft muscles are less injury prone and will recover faster. He would give Brady violent massages in order to make the muscles softer. Brady, himself, publicly backed Guerrero's methods. "The moment another player's helmet makes contact with my body," Brady said, "my muscles are pliable enough to absorb what's happening instantly." He's also said that his focus on pliability has helped him avoid many injuries and helped him bounce back so quickly from hits. Though, none of Guerrero's methods have been scientifically proven. After seeing the magic work on Brady, it wasn't long before other players flocked to Guerrero. Danny Amendola, Julian Edelman, and Rob Gronkowski were just a few Patriots who sought help from the great Guerrero. Belichick watched from afar, but he didn't approve. He didn't like that Guerrero was working closely with his players. He didn't like that players were ignoring team trainers. And he especially didn't like that Brady just brought in a friend who was disrupting their whole system. Eventually, Belichick decided enough was enough. In late 2017, he made a new rule. He banned Guerrero from coming on any team flights, banned him from the sidelines during games, and banned him from working with any player besides Brady in the stadium. And most of all, Belichick emphasized that Guerrero was not a part of team's official staff. Brady, of course, wasn't thrilled that one of his best friends was being shunned by his own team, and the seeds of discord were sown. With tensions already starting to build, the underlying issue Brady had was about commitment. Because of Guerrero's methods, Brady really believed he'd be able to play until he was 45, and he wanted a contract from the Patriots to back him up on that. Belichick, though, scoffed at the idea. He was known for cutting loose great players just as they started to decline, and Brady would be no different. So in 2014, he drafted Jimmy Garoppolo to be the heir to the throne. Belichick's love for Garoppolo irked Brady. It sent a strong message that the franchise didn't believe he could really play until 45. It was a public disregard for the TB12 method, for Guerrero, and for Brady himself. Pats owner Robert Kraft was much more of a father figure to Brady than Belichick ever was, and Kraft believed in his star QB. Belichick wanted to keep Garoppolo, even saying that they could win a Super Bowl with Jimmy G one day. But Kraft believed in Brady and wanted to keep him happy until he chose to retire. So in October of 2017, Belichick begrudgingly traded Garoppolo to the San Francisco 49ers for a second-round pick. But Brady still wanted a long-term contract that showed the team's belief in Guerrero's methods. Belichick, though, preferred year-to-year deals ready to move on if there was a sharp decline in body or skills, which he believed was coming soon. The rift kept the two apart. In public, Brady and Belichick were always polite and formal when talking about each other, but it just hid the growing distance between the two behind the scenes. In March 2020, Brady finally left the Patriots, never getting the belief and support that he wanted from his coach or the team. He fled south to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to play for a more player-friendly coach in Bruce Arians. In the end, despite making 9 Super Bowls and winning 6, Brady longed for the Patriots to accept him in the late stages of his career, to accept Guerrero and the TB12 method. Instead, it was the Belichick method that won out. Belichick still refused to fully support his QB late in his career. At this point, it wasn't even about winning for Tom Brady. It was about being wanted. Brady's method will be tested. He's off on his own now, looking not just for Super Bowl rings, but for acceptance, commitment, happiness, trust. Words that Belichick never gave, but Brady had always wanted. And it took a miracle-working best friend personal trainer to reveal that.